Hey, welcome everybody. This is episode 45 of Barb and Cynthia's excellent adventure in podcasting on. So welcome to our episode. We are here in our shop.
Quarantine.
We are not socially distancing, but we do have a plexiglass shield in between us.
Yep.
And we're sitting at our consultation table where we invite people to come in and visit with us by appointment. So if you see us passing things back and forth between the little hole in the plexiglass, you know why.
That's what that's all about.
Yeah. So yeah, we're here from River City Yarns. My name is Cynthia. This is my
Barb.
business partner and sister, Barb. Yeah. And Barb, I was thinking, we don't get to travel anymore.
I know.
We're stuck. We're sheltering in place and we're living vicariously through other people. And so it was really fun last week. Was it last week that we met up with Arna and Carlos?
Oh, yes.
On a Sunday seminar.
Yes.
And we got to travel to, their kitchen in Norway, which was kind of cool.
And ever since COVID, we've actually been able to see more knitting stars virtually than we would have if we ever would have been traveling to see them. Because they're not teaching, at retreats or workshops right now. So they're at home as well. Yeah. And we're able to connect with them via Zoom for the most part, right?
Right, yeah. And, so in some ways, it's kind of sad. I would like to travel again. I'd like to wake up in Europe somewhere and walk down the street and get myself a croissant or shop in a yarn shop where I have to translate all the words on the ball band. I mean, that would be so cool. Yeah. But we can't. We need to keep this virus locked down, and we need to get beyond it, past it, through to a vaccine. So in the meantime,
we do what we can do.
We do what we can do. And we've had
and we can do a lot. Cynthia's been really, really creative in getting us, working to get us some really great names. So if you've had a chance to attend one of our Saturday seminars or one of our workshops, you'll already know what they're all about. And if you haven't, you got to check it out.
Yeah, we do have quite a nice lineup.
Yeah.
Normally we would start our podcast with a review of finished objects and works in progress. When we were talking a little bit earlier, and I said, I don't really have any finished objects or works in progress that aren't related to some sort of event that's coming up.
So
online.
Show us what you've got, and then we'll talk about all the events that are coming up too.
Sure. Yeah. Well, so we were kind of joking before we turned the camera on that. I'm working on a ball. I said to Barb, I need to see just how big my ball will be when I use our Epic yarn, because I want to have a bodacious ball for my Christmas tree.
Yeah.
But,
okay. There's a lot of ball jokes that could be happening right now, but we're just gonna. Arnie and Carlos have told them all, so
it's true.
No sense going over that.
It's true, but we are doing a knit along this month.
Yeah.
And the knit along is in celebration of Anna and Carlos's 10th anniversary for their book 55 Christmas Balls to Knit.
Yes.
And so we thought we'll get started in October, and we'll put together some kits using traditional Christmas colors. Of course, your balls could be white and blue. They could be silver and gold. They could be, there's lots of colors to pick from. Mm-hmm. But I thought I would start off with a simple ball. Yeah. Just a nice white creamy ball.
Are you going to put a pattern in there?
No, I think I'm just going to do one plain. Mm-hmm. And then it's a little warm today, so Barb, this one might be my Schmetty ball.
Oh, bad.
For all of you fans of Saturday Night Live, SNL.
And Alec Baldwin. Yeah.
Anyway, I thought I would do one just plain, because one of the things that Arna and Carlos told us when they were at our Sunday seminar, one little secret that they said, was that you can duplicate stitch your pattern on. So you don't have to do it stranded color work, you can duplicate stitch it on afterwards, which I think is very clever. So I thought I would do a gauge swatch ball and just see how big it is, and then think about which very complicated pattern I didn't want to knit into the ball, but would rather embroider on afterwards instead.
There you go.
What do you think of that?
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Clever?
Sure.
How about you? What have you been up to?
Well, I've been doing a little bit of knitting. Same thing for, a lot of the Saturday seminars. I've been working on this one. Here, I'll show you mine.
Oh, yes.
This is I'm almost done. I would have been done, except I had to knit this over. I kind of went off pattern and I had to pull it back and knit it again. But this is the capelet from the new Rowan book. It's in here.
Oh.
Rowan number 68. So this is, as soon as I saw it, I thought, oh my God, I have to make that. So they sent me the pattern.
Oh, nice. Are you sure it's in that book?
I'm pretty sure.
I thought maybe you said it was in Martin Storey's Carousel
yes.
collection.
You know what? You're right. I thought there was pictures of it in here too, though. I'm just going to keep flipping.
I just want to rewind the tape on that one. She said, "You're right." Just in case you missed it there.
Yes.
So Martin Storey has a collection that's coming out called Carousel. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And I think it's all
Here it
color
is.
work, isn't it?
Yeah. So this is a beautiful book, and there's several. That's right. The theme, I think, for the big book was knitting in the round, seamless.
You're right. Yes.
Yeah, and so he's designed a few pieces knitted in the round, and they're just really lovely little capelets. And so, yeah, I started this one.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah,
That's really, really pretty, Barb.
I think it's going to be really, really nice.
What yarn are you using?
Alpaca Soft DK. Yeah, and is it ever nice to knit with? It's really nice. I'm anxious to block it to see if it grows and blooms a little bit, and how the top is stranded, so it's a little thicker than the bottom. So
That's
it'd be
going to be
interesting to
cozy.
see. Yeah. So that's what I'm working on.
I bet that just feels amazing.
It does feel very, very nice. Yeah.
So she's been working on this.
Couple
you've been
weeks now.
Pretty dedicated to it.
Oh
because
no, I've been making all kinds of other things too.
I was going to tease you because we've been doing this. Make mittens for the mustard seed thing, and we've had a kind of like a knit along, just like we call it the Mitten Makers Meetup we should have had it on Monday nights, because then there would have just been full stop alliteration, but we have it on Tuesday nights. And I noticed Barb's been bringing her Martin Storey cape to that.
Well, because I was feeling a little behind, I wanted to have it done for tonight, but oh well.
Would have been a nice piece to wear.
Yes. And I've got socks on the go, and I'm still working on my Afghan and all kinds of things.
Yeah. It's hard to find time to knit on projects because we've been really busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and with the store being closed too, we've been trying to knit swatches for all of the yarns that we have, so that when people can come in, we can, give them something to touch and feel, instead of a skein of yarn, that we have to, try and keep protected from any germs and things.
Yeah, we need to sanitize things in between customers. So a swatch is pretty easy to sanitize. We can steam it, we can quarantine it, we can wash it if we want to. But
yeah, and hopefully we've got several of them, right?
Right,
We've been knitting multis, so we can just tuck one away and bring it out 3 days later.
Yeah.
So yeah, the new way of working and being.
Yes, it's busy.
Yeah.
It's very busy. So I have to share this little story with you. This is Chunkadelic, and it's half a hat.
Oh yeah.
Because we did a class recently called Learn to Cable and Knit a Sweet Hat. So this hat pattern is Stephanie Pearl McPhee's pattern called an unoriginal hat, but I was using a leftover ball of Chunkadelic. I probably should have just used it for a swatch, and so I only got halfway up the hat. So I sort of figure it like would be a great bun hat, you know, like sometimes
Yeah.
if instead of washing my hair, I'll just put it all up on top of my head. So now I have a hat that I can wear when I have a big bun.
Yeah. Or
But-
a really fat ear warmer.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Try it on. Let's see it.
well, then I'll mess up my hair.
Oh,
Yeah. Maybe later?
okay.
Okay. So,
So you've been working on that.
yeah, so it's kind of like a big fat swatch.
Do you have
know?
a pattern for that?
Yeah, it's Stephanie Pearl McPhee's unoriginal
Oh,
hat.
Okay,
Yep,
just
on-
without the top.
Yeah, just without the top. Yeah, yeah. You should definitely make a top. It's a one ball of Rowan Big Wool does it. Obviously, one ball of Chunkadelic would do it as well, but I only had a little bit left over, so it was from. I think you had done a hat out of Chunkadelic, and
Yes.
this was left over. So I thought,
Oh.
I'll just see how far I can go,
Oh, great.
and that's how far I could go.
Yeah.
One repeat.
And
Anyway.
you've got a couple other hats there too to show, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, because this relates to another. So let's just go back then and talk a little bit about the Saturday seminars.
Yeah.
We've always had a really healthy workshop program here at the store. And when COVID came and March came and we had to shut down, we kind of cut off our workshops midstream, and it was sad and disappointing.
Well, and I think a lot of our customers said, well, how are we going to learn? What am I going to do?
Yes.
And so we kind of scrambled to see if we couldn't come up with something.
Right. We started off by doing tutorials online, and then we looked at doing some classes online. So we did a sock boot camp, and we did a hat class, and we experimented with Zoom and with our computers and our iPhones and our
And we've
cameras.
Always done YouTube tutorials on how to do things.
For sure.
We've had those for a long time, so we knew it could be done.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. Yep.
It was
And
just a matter of figuring it out.
It's a different way of teaching, and it's a different way of learning, and it's a different way of communicating. You have to stop and ask everybody how they're doing and where they are. And sometimes as an instructor, you have to turn things around in your head, because when someone lifts it up to the camera, obviously it's you may be looking at it from a different perspective than if you were looking over their shoulder. But we managed. But on the way, we thought, wouldn't it be nice if we were doing something just a little less intensive? And here are all these instructors and friends of ours who are out of work because they can't go to fiber festivals, they can't go to their regular teaching gigs. And so we thought, let's try something a little bit different. Let's try a Saturday seminar, just an hour with an instructor, but more like a seminar where you come and you talk about a specific thing, a specific topic. It's not a chat. It's a little more intensive than a conversation. There is learning involved, but there's no homework. You don't have to prep anything. You learn a ton of stuff. Some of the instructors have handouts that they give. Some of them are more informal. But it's been really fun. And so we've got this great lineup now. So we've got Lucy Neepy coming. She's the next person up on the list. She'll be here on Saturday.
And what's she teaching?
Modular knitting.
Oh, I love that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was one of my first pieces that I did with Lucy.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes. So she's got lots of patterns herself that are modular knit, but she also designed this for us. This is the MVP hat.
Right, that's the one done in our hockey yarn.
No.
Oh,
Which one?
our football yarn.
Yes. So this one is Hamilton, I think. Barb's better at the colors than I am. But I love this one because it's perfect for Halloween, right?
Yeah.
And it's a little bit like a jughead hat too, if you want to dress up in a costume. And this is a baby version. So I cast on another one in celebration of this visit with Lucy Neepy, and this one is done in Calgary, I believe, or Ottawa.
Nice.
Can't quite.
Yeah.
Anyway. It's
They're kind of close.
yeah.
The difference with Touchdown is that half of the skein is one color and half the skein is another color. So it does some really interesting repeats. We have a pattern called grid iron. That's a sock that we have, and when you slip the stitches in the pattern, it creates vertical lines that go straight up. So it's very cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, so Lucy's going to talk to us about smooth modular knitting, because for those of you who have picked up stitches before, you'll know that there are definitely some tips and tricks that you can learn to make it nice and smooth. So modular knitting is just knitting little pieces and then picking up stitches, casting off a few more, and knitting another piece that's attached to it. And these ones are done in squares, but you could easily do this in hexagons or triangles. I think you did a blanket once that was like a star shape.
Yeah, from
Yeah.
Tin Can Knits.
Yeah, yeah. So that's what Lucy's going to be talking about. And so I thought, well,
Yeah.
I'll just get another hat going because
Right.
it's hat weather pretty soon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And besides, how many projects can you start?
Well,
really.
well, I've got apparently quite a few. Yeah, so between the modular knits and the balls, that's sort of keeping me occupied at the moment.
Oh, good.
But we have lots of really great people coming up.
Yeah.
We have Fiona Ellis coming to talk to us about color and how to make those really good color choices.
So when is she coming? Do you recall?
I'd have to look on my piece of paper here. Let's see. Well, let's go in order then.
Yeah.
So we've got Lucy Neepy, which we already talked about. Kate Atherley will be the weekend after. We're taking a break for Canadian Thanksgiving. So we're not doing any Saturday seminars the week following Lucy. But then the week after that, we've got Kate Atherley from Toronto talking to us about short rows.
Short rows. And how to do them?
Yeah, and what short rows work better than others. So I think she might be a proponent of the German short rows. But she is so knowledgeable
Yeah.
and entertaining. That's so if you want to know about short rows, when to use them, how to use them, which one is
Why
best.
you'd want to use them.
Yeah, you should join us.
Really great for creating shaping, I think.
Yeah.
Short rows is the way to do it so that, you really don't see any sort of jogs or points in your knitting.
And then the day after Kate Atherley, on Sunday, we're going to have Lisa Richardson join us from
Right.
England. And we're doing it at 11 a.m. here in Edmonton, but it'll be 6 p.m. where Lisa is. And she's going to show us mosaic knitting. That's like doing color work without having to carry any floats. It's 2-row stripes that turn into these beautiful patterns without having to carry any floats along. So that's really cool. And she's going to show us her collection in the Rowan magazine 68 collection, and I think she might be tempting us with a little bit of designs that she's doing in the new cashmere from Rowan. And then Barb and I went and took a look at some of her other mosaic knit or slip stitch projects, and she's got the most gorgeous, I think she calls it a shopping bag, market bag, done out of felted tweed.
I know, I want to make that. Yeah.
It's so
It's real.
pretty.
I think is there about like 8 colors of felted tweed in it?
Or maybe 6.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's really, really pretty. You got to check it out on her website.
And then she's got a wrap called Edith, and there's a nice, nice cowl
Yes.
that sort of reminds me of Edith. So there's some really nice patterns.
The Edith wrap too is mosaic as
Yeah.
well. So yeah, it's and it's got short rows in it. So if you take Kate's class, you'll be primed for Lisa the next day.
Yeah, yeah. And then who else have we got coming? We've got, so Fiona is coming to talk to us about color. I believe that's about October 24th. Anne Budd is coming to teach us coordinating cast-ons and bind-offs. She'll be with us on Halloween, but it's in the morning, so don't worry. You can still get dressed up and go trick-or-treating afterwards.
Yeah, like you're not going to be going trick-or-treating. Who's going to be sending their kids door to door to get treats that have been touched by...
My husband and I were talking about this, and I thought, actually, trick-or-treating should be fairly safe, because everybody will be wearing a mask. right? And you can quarantine your candy for 48 or 72 hours.
suppose.
Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're going trick-or-treating, aren't you?
Yeah, no.
You're dressing up, aren't you?
No, but I will be handing out candies if any little ghouls come out.
I think you should dress up and come to the Ann Bud.
Oh, I will. I'll be wearing my monster slippers.
I'm going to talk about
There
those
is a
today.
story there.
Perfect. Don't shake the plexiglass. And right after Ann Bud, we
Yeah.
have Erika Knight, another
What's
UK
Ann Bud
designer.
going to do?
Ann Bud is doing coordinating cast-ons and bind-offs.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So
So
there'll be-
kind of a technique workshop.
Yeah, so if you want to have it, so again, it's all about technique or tailoring. If you want your cast-on to match your bind-off, she's going to show us that. And she's a genius, an absolute genius.
She is. If you haven't had a chance to take a class from Ann Bud, sign up. Seriously. She's amazing. She's got the whole line of how-to books too. The handy book of this and the handy book of that.
Yeah, yeah.
Here a book, there a book. Everywhere a handy book.
Oh dear,
It's
oh
late in
dear.
the day. Can you
Keeping
tell?
her on track, I'll tell you. And then Erika Knight. And we'll have to segue from Erika Knight directly to the Rowan magazine,
Yeah,
because
seriously.
Erika Knight has come back to Rowan and done a gorgeous chapter in the new Rowan magazine that's primarily home decor. She's been talking about, you know, how with the pandemic and, you know, it being worldwide, that we're spending more time at home. And she did something I think is very interesting, and that's that she created a blanket using a double strand of Rowan big wool.
Yes, yeah.
So, you know,
And a sweater.
and so it's just these huge, big stitches and this beautiful merino wool that's already a super bulky jumbo yarn, and she's double-stranded it.
The other thing that she's done, Cynthia, that I love, and I think it's so creative, is she's held two different fibers together. She held creative linen, which is sort of like a linen cotton blend, and what was it, alpaca classic or something?
Yeah,
Something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So there's beautiful home decor in there. She's also quite concerned, maybe concerned is the wrong word, but she likes to use up all her leftover bits. So there's this really cool pair of slippers in there that are made up with the leftovers from some of the other projects. And I just think that's so innovative and practical and whimsical. And the little slippers are so darling. So we're hoping that we may be able to get some tips from her on how to pick up around the sole of these slippers and see some of the designs from her studio and talk about how she gets inspired.
She used creative linen and brushed fleece.
Oh,
And so there couldn't be anything more different. You know, creative linen is like a strand of cottony linen and quite strong and
it's crisp.
brushed and crisp, yeah. And brushed fleece is sort of a soft, kind of open, airy, polar fleece kind of material. So really interesting. And the one she did in color work. So she's got this blanket that has like 2 rows of one fiber and 2 rows of another. That's really, really cool.
Yeah.
And then she's got this one too. There's a big poof, like an
Yes.
ottoman,
Yeah.
and several sweaters with some really interesting construction.
Yeah, so Barb's looking at one right now where there's kind of a little bit of a slit up the back. So she was talking about, well, she will talk about how the attention to the back side of your sweater is just as important sometimes as the
And-
attention to the front.
Is she going to have the garments? think?
If she doesn't have the garments, I'm sure she will have the nice photos of them for sure. But you know, Magazine 68 is a publication that you can only get at a yarn store. You can't get it through Amazon. You can't get it through your local bookstore.
Ravelry.
You have to get it through a yarn shop. And so sometimes that makes it a little bit difficult to acquire, particularly if you're looking for back issues. So I think it's important for everybody to know that Rowan has come out with an app. And you can purchase the magazines through their app, and you can leaf through them. And so if if you don't have access to a local yarn shop, or if you try to order one of ours and we've run out, we do have quite a few copies, so you should be fine. But if you try to order it and you run out, or you find shipping is just too much money for a big, for a big magazine,
Consider the electronic.
Yeah.
There is something, though, I have to tell you about just being able to flip this book. Like, seriously, the photography's so beautiful. I love being able to work a pattern straight out of the book, and it's
for sure.
It's lovely.
For sure. I suspect that for those of you though who like to carry things around on your iPad and knit in bed.
Here's the slippers. They're called Drowsy.
They're really cute.
And they're done in felted tweed Aran and creative linen. Yeah.
So yeah, but I think if you were to hold felted tweed doubled, you might get the same gauge as felted tweed Aran.
Right. Yes, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, here's the pattern right here. Okay. Yeah. So.
So
Stay
Barb's
tuned for Erika Knight.
Barb's going to get the book and I'm going to get the app.
Yeah. Well, and we were so fortunate too because we had a little sneak peek. Rowan invited us to a session where Erika spoke, and she was so good. We right away phoned them up and said, "Can we have her at our Saturday seminar?" And they said, "Sure, email her." And sure enough,
So again, we get to go to southern England when we visit with Erika.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think she lives around Bath.
That could be. My geography isn't great, so I don't know exactly. But I do know she did say she was in the south, so so that'll be really cool. So, if you feel like you're confined to home, we do feel like the Saturday seminars are a great way to get a little bit of vicarious travel out of things and learn something really cool, but limited to a very specific topic while you're
all
at
at the same time.
Yeah. Except when we have Stephanie Pearl McPhee, and then you're not limited to a specific topic. She'll answer anything, absolutely anything.
Stephanie's last session was a riot. She does this you give me a question and I'll answer it session. And so people kind of peppered in questions before the session started, and we sent them off to Stephanie.
I think we had close to 50 questions.
At least. There was more than that. I think one person asked 30 questions alone.
Well,
Stephanie
you might as well.
Yeah, she was brilliant. She goes, "Okay, I'm going to take, we got a lot of questions about holes. So I'm going to combine all these hole questions and address them right now." Yeah. And so it was great. She just had and she had us in stitches too. So again, if you want to see, Stephanie, we've got another date for her.
Not yet, but I will post it. So we're looking at November or December for Stephanie to come back again. So yeah, it's really fun. It's been a great program, and again, no homework. So there's something to be said for that.
Yeah.
And then we've also joined in with other yarn shops. Primarily in the U.S. There's a yarn shop called Longmont Yarn Shop in Colorado. They kicked off this program called Fiberside Chats, and they invited other yarn shops to kind of join in. And so they'll be having a guest who's very popular, and that's Patty Lyons. She'll be coming on, I wonder if I wrote down the date. I did not. But you can find it on it's going to happen in October, and you can find it on our website under events, and you can sign up for that as well. And then we've got workshops. And again, Barb, this is just so incredible. We're able to have workshops with these really brilliant people that we admire and respect, and we're so, so lucky for that.
We've got Holly coming, right?
We do. Holly Yo is amazing. She's a fabulous instructor. She's going to do a class called Intro to Intarsia, and that'll be 2 weeks, so an hour and a half, 2 times, 2 consecutive weeks. So a 3-hour class, but over 2 weeks. And she'll show you the ins and outs of Intarsia. And then she's also doing one on fixing mistakes.
Nice.
Yeah, we've run that one before with her. What do you think? Like she's pretty brilliant, hey?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Holly's kind of the finesser, you know, like she's all about finishing techniques and making things look really nice. So we always joke that, you know, that's the difference between handmade and homemade.
Yeah.
You know, it's those little finishing touches that you put in and being able to fix any sort of mistakes that you've made. So it's a great class.
Yeah, this is the intermediate level one, and so you'll be fixing lace.
Wow.
You'll be fixing, I think she starts off with cables, but she finishes up with lace, and you get to do it at the same time.
Nice.
So you prepare a swatch, that swatch has mistakes in it that she's told you to make on purpose, and then she shows you how to fix it. So it's very hands-on.
How fun is that?
Yeah.
You get to make mistakes on purpose.
Yeah. So it's very, you get your money's worth, let's put it that way. Yeah, absolutely. And then, and then we've got Fiona coming to do Celtic cables.
Oh yeah, I love cables. Aren't cables beautiful?
Yes.
I'm wearing some.
Yeah, you're wearing Geneva,
Yeah.
which is a Fiona Ellis design for River City Yarns.
This is her vest, and it's beautiful. It's got cables all along the bottom. She has a hat pattern that matches this, and a mitten pattern. Yeah.
So in this Celtic cables class, Fiona will show you how to make more intricate cables. And so you can design your own, or she'll give you a pattern to follow, and you'll learn how to make all the crossings, how to learn how they work. So if you want to create your own kind of Celtic knot, you'll be better equipped to do that.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and this is a 3-part class. So we get Fiona for 3 weeks, and she'll take you through it all. And then if you want, you'll turn your Celtic knot into a mitten cuff. So it'll become the cuff, and she'll tell you how to adapt a mitten on top of it.
So sort of like her woodland mittens that we offered out in the Board and Buster.
I can't believe how popular, I mean, I can.
Do you remember that kit?
Yes, I do. Tell everybody, this is a great story. Yeah.
What?
About how we first met Fiona and yeah.
Yeah, Fiona came with us on one of our train trips up to Jasper, and so it was a lot of fun. And she designed a mitten for us that was both Fair Isle and cables. And so if you get a chance, go to Ravelry and look for it. It's called the Woodland Leaves mitten, and we brought it back as a Board and Buster kit. It was hugely popular.
Now I think you probably need to, let's take a little break in workshops here and tell us about Board and Buster kits, Barb, because I mean some people out there may not know what this is.
Everybody knows about Board and Buster.
Oh, I don't know. What happened? So let's talk about it, because that was a brilliant idea.
Well, it was just, you know, we have to have something to keep ourselves busy at this time, right? So, you know, having a little kit where you've got the pattern, idea, and the yarn and everything all in one. So that's the Board and Buster, and we come out with them every week. So every week we're looking for a new pattern, and then we combine with the yarn. I think this week it was Annabella's cowl from Church Mouse, which is a beautiful cowl kit with 2 fibers. One is our own house baby alpaca called El Rio, and Rowan Kid Silkays. And we teamed it with the cutest little alpaca ornament. We have these little wooden cutouts where we're donating to charity a percentage of the cost of the little cutout. So you can, we're trying to fundraise and have fun all at the same time.
Yeah.
So yeah, check it out. You just go onto our website and you go into the search bar and type in boredom, and up will pop all of these fun kits.
It's a great idea, and and as Barb said, every week it changes, and then she often will slip in some sort of little treat.
Oh yeah, that's right. We have to come up with a really good one for the next one.
For Halloween.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, you know, it's sort of, to me, it's the way that our business is changing. You know, we're having to adapt, right, to this new reality, which is that for the most part, a lot of the stuff that you're getting now is in the mail. You may be ordering it online, or you may be picking up the telephone and ordering it. But aren't you kind of amazed at how much we're getting delivered these days?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm really amazed at how quickly our packages are getting to recipients.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. Someone told me today that there's going to be a little lag in the U.S. mail because apparently ballots are being mailed out.
Well, there's a very important event happening amongst our neighbors down south, and so
But our packages are still getting through somehow.
That's good. Oh, that reminds me too, Barb, we found a new feature on our website. Sometimes Shopify does things and they don't tell us about it. So I just discovered a couple of weeks ago that we could add other currencies to our website.
Ooh.
And so now if you're dealing with American currency rather than Canadian currency, you can change the little currency tab on our website, and you can see all the pricing in American dollars instead of Canadian dollars.
Right. So do you actually pay in American dollars if you're American?
Well, it sort of seems like it, because we've seen some orders come through that have like some weird change on them that we're not quite. So normally,
we don't really know.
Normally, if you're an American and you're buying and you live in the U.S., when you buy something from our store, our shop doesn't charge you any tax, because when we send things outside of the country, there's no federal or provincial tax that's applied to them. And so we saw a couple of them that sort of felt like they had some tax applied to it, but I think it was just the conversion. So it does kind of look like maybe you are paying in U.S. funds, but I just think sometimes it's nice to have that sticker shock. I know people, sometimes people forget that if you're looking at things in Canadian dollars, it may look vastly different in another currency. So for Americans, that $20 Canadian is more like, what?
14.
Yeah, 14 US. Yeah, I think that's fair. It's about a 35% discount based on exchange rate. So, so if you like to see it in your own currency, we've turned that on. We could turn on more, but we didn't, because it would just make the list very long. So right now it's just Canada and the US. But if you would like to see your currency in there, by all means send us a note, and we'll add that on to our website.
It's so cool, all the things that Shopify can do, right?
Yeah, for sure.
We're having lots of fun with it.
Well, again, it's sort of like a lifesaver. If we didn't have an online store, I don't know if we'd be sitting in front of you today. Honestly, it's the online store has meant that we were able to stay in business, and I'm really, really happy that really happy. I keep wanting to look for silver linings in this whole pandemic. And I think one of the silver linings is that we were forced to rely more on our online store, and we were challenged to come up with more creative ideas for people, for our customers. And
our customers changed too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We were used to opening the door at 10 o'clock in the morning, and we would have customers come in who we would help. We had sales consultants, and we would talk and laugh and visit, and people would walk out with big bags of yarn. Well, we don't have that anymore.
No, and our locals would normally come in for classes, and we've been trying for a couple of years to put more of our workshops online, because we had people who would say, I wish I lived closer so I could take that class.
Yeah.
And so now this is
Now
one of the
you can do that.
This is one of the silver linings. I really do believe we've had to adapt really quickly, but not everything is bad. Not everything is terrible, and so we're really looking for. I just think why focus on the negatives? Let's just look at all the good things that are coming out of this, and so we've made new friends all over the world, in Seattle, in Australia, in Germany. They're coming out for
New York
workshops and things like yes.
Hi, Emily. Yeah, it's
so
been
really
a lot
good.
of fun.
Even the mitten makers meetup. So here's a couple of mittens that I've got
Oh, those are so cute.
for our donation. But even there we had participation from outside of our local area, because it doesn't matter to us where you are. We invite you.
Got a mittens for or mustard seed organization in your city or
share of it.
or close,
Yeah,
or a charity that you can donate mittens to.
yeah. So it's it's just fun to be able to connect with so many more people, and still connect with our locals too.
Yep.
They're calling and making appointments and doing all that good stuff. So thank you, everybody. Back to workshops, just back to mittens for a second. We also have a great workshop coming up with Kate Atherley. It's called Custom Mittens. So it's
Kate's
about
going to tell you how to close the hole in the thumb.
yes,
Right?
holes are a problem.
That always happens.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think you can do a thumb without having a hole.
Right.
So, yeah.
She's going to tell you how to, what you can do to kind of avoid it, but she's also going to tell you what to do to close it up afterwards, and how to make your mittens warmer, how to make them. I took a tip from her class the last time because I made these mittens and they were just a little too short. So I picked up some stitches and added on a longer cuff.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. I mean, she's brilliant. And sometimes you just need a little bit of inspiration, right? Like, how do I fix this? What do I do to make this better? Yeah. So she's coming as well. And then we also have a class with one of our local instructors. She does a lot of great crochet classes. So she'll be doing an intro to amigurumi and making these little little octopus creatures that are great for babies.
Oh, that one's really cute. Very popular class.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to, if you like to crochet, or if you haven't crocheted and you'd like to learn, we have a great little learn to knit and learn to crochet boredom buster box as well.
Yes.
Plug.
Yeah. And videos that go along with it.
And videos too.
Yeah. Instructional videos. So that's perfect. Yeah.
So tell us, was that it for classes?
That's
Or
it
do we have
for
more?
classes, and then we already talked about the knit along that we're having with for the Christmas balls. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, the Christmas balls one I think is a really good one too. And I know a lot of you already have the book, so I think the knit along is completely free,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
And we're using a pattern in the book, so you kind of have to have the book.
You need
but-
to have the book to participate. Yes.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm sure you can get that just about anywhere, and I know
Yeah.
we have copies of it too. So
That's
we're gonna.
That's a book, sorry, that you can get on Amazon or at your local bookstore. Yeah. It's published by Trafalgar, so it's pretty popular worldwide. But yeah, the knit along is free, and I will be doing some instructional videos in case if you have trouble casting on small number of stitches onto double pointed needles and working in the round. I'll show you some tricks for doing that. So that'll be up on our website also.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's excellent.
yeah. So tell us what's new, Barb. What's new?
New, you mean in yarn?
Yeah.
I'll tell you about that.
Yeah.
You tell everybody about your sweater.
Oh, thank you. Yes, this is my completed soundtrack sweater because Barb and I participated in the 4-day sweater knit along. Although for me it was more like 4 months, but I got it done. And this is Juniper Moon Patagonia Organic Merino. So it's a not over processed merino. It's a little toothier, but I'm not wearing anything underneath it. So in terms of
Nothing at all?
In terms of, is this a comfortable sweater to wear? Yes, it is.
When she says next to the skin, she really means it.
The yoke is done with Study in Scarlet. It's one of our flash mobs from earlier this year, and I used it's a gradient pack, and so I used it to create
really
the
pretty.
yoke. Yeah, I love it. It's a great sweater. It fits really well, and I sure love the, 100% wool. There's nothing like it. And merino wool. I swear, it's not prickly.
That color is so pretty on you too.
Oh, thanks. Thank you. I always
That's
get my
yours.
hair dyed to match it, so, So a little bit earlier this year, Barb, we were joking that there might be a baby boom this fall.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I've been asking everybody, have you got little new babies in your family, or, are you expecting a new baby, or, do you know someone who has a baby? But I only have 1 or 2 people who have said yes. But we've persevered, even though you may be getting a new, dog or cat in your family instead of a baby. Cynthia and I are bound and determined that there's babies being born all over the place. We just don't know about them. So what we did was we designed a whole little layettes for a baby, and we want to show it to you. Is that okay? Can we show it?
Absolutely, yeah. I think you're right. It's fun.
So we picked one of our favorite baby blanket patterns, and if you're a knitter, you will know about Pearl Soho. They're a shop in New York. I think they're based there, although I think they have warehouses all over America. And they have a cute little baby blanket that we did up in our brand new color called Willow of Eden yarn. This is our house blend merino cashmere nylon, and we love it. It's simply one of the nicest yarns out there. It's dyed by Handmaiden in Nova Scotia, and she sells it as well, slightly different weight, but under a label called Casbah. And we have this in worsted weight. It's called Eden, and we also have heavy fingering light sport weight called Adam and Eve. So this is our version. We picked Willow to do this baby blanket, and it's lovely. When you feel how squishy and soft the merino is, and the stitch pattern too. I think it's a mistake
like a broken rib. Yeah,
it's called really pretty.
The Forever Baby Blanket. And it's just a nice, simple, repetitive pattern, which is comforting to knit. And then how does it feel, Barb?
Oh, it feels beautiful. And this one is washable as well. I'll pass it through so you can see it and feel it. And this is kind of one of those blankets where, your little one will be resistant to give it up. Someone came in the other day with a story about their 8-year-old who's still tagging along this blanket behind him, and it's full of holes, but you know what? It's the blanket that provides comfort. And isn't that what we all need nowadays, right? With COVID, I think that a blanket is probably one of the best things that you can make to gift someone, a gift of a hug. Oh, see? She wants a baby.
You just want to cuddle it.
Yeah.
It's so soft. Yeah.
You're going to have to talk to your girls.
How many skeins does this take, Barb?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh.
Was there a tag on it? I think we used either 4 or 5, I want to say. We could weigh it. But I'm sure the pattern... Well, we're going to feature this as board and buster boxes or projects in our upcoming weeks, so we'll put out information about it. Anything there?
It says, "Hi Pat, please alternate the yarn every 2 rows with 2 skeins to minimize any patterning or dye variations between skeins," which is very good advice when working with hand-painted yarn.
Pat knit this for us. Thank you, Pat.
Yeah.
She's our prolific knitter on our team.
I'm going to say it's probably 4, but we'll have to look it up and do a little bit of math, because we don't have the yarn that it was. We wanted to knit it in Eden.
Our yarn.
Yeah.
So we kind of did a little bit of color coordination here. We've got Willow, and then check these out. This is Cynthia's baby yoga pants, and I'm going to let her tell the story, because these are a very special little design that she made for her daughter when her daughter started having her babies.
Yeah, well, they're just shorties. Sometimes people call them shorties or longies. You can wear them over top of a diaper, so there's some short row shaping in the back. And the yarn I think that you've used there, Barb, is
Epic. This is our Epic. This is our wool destined for greatness. That's our kind of slogan on it. But it's Peruvian, 100% Peruvian wool.
Right.
And this is the colorway we used.
Right.
It's called Grassland. We loved it and thought it went really great with the little blanket.
And the reason why this is a good fiber to use for diaper covers is because it's so absorbent. So 100% wool is, it'll absorb water, hold on to it. It's also got antimicrobial properties, so it doesn't build up, it doesn't provide a great home for bacteria. So you don't have to wash them as frequently as you might if it wasn't wool. And then as you wash them, they will felt a little bit as well, and there's nothing wrong with that. The felting just makes everything a little bit denser and a little more leak-proof. So
And warm.
yes,
And cozy.
yeah. So it's kind of nice. You can put these on baby at night, and you don't have to worry about them, you know, slipping out from underneath their covers. Because I think sometimes people are putting babies to bed now without blankets.
Oh.
I mean,
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
If you're
yeah.
wearing something really warm and cozy,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
would be perfect.
So I love how Pat made the little ribbing down here. Oh, that looks cozy.
We have one more pair. Look at these with the little, aren't these cute? With the little ruffle on the bottom. Oh my God.
Those are adorable. So she put the picot. This is included in the pattern, but there's a picot edge. So this one's just like a straight hem, and this one has a picot hem. And then she put the little ruffles at the bottom, which are
Yeah.
a suggestion in the pattern as well. So
And we just thought this is a perfect color for little baby, little pants.
yeah, yeah.
We have a little sweater coming up too that you could make in this same color in Adam and Eve. But again, we used the Eden yarn that we've
Right.
got, a nice chunky worsted weight yarn, machine washable, and we think it's perfect for babies. I know. Oh my God, this is so fun. And you know, you can't help but get, well, I can't help but get a little maternal just kind of handling these things. So watch out,
This one-
Mario.
These might fit on a small dog.
On a small what?
On a small dog.
Oh,
Right?
okay,
I
now
mean-
that's just sad.
All right, keep
Well,
going.
maybe one of those little dogs that you carry around with you everywhere.
I think you could pop a dog, you know, in here, dress them up. They, you know, probably wouldn't mind.
Okay, let's move on.
This is cute. This
Yeah.
is beloved.
This is beloved. So this is, do you have the pattern?
I do.
This is a little hat pattern from our friends at Tin Can Knits. And it's done in El Rio. So this is our new baby alpaca.
Do we just hold that up?
Yeah,
Yeah. There's some pictures on the back.
beloved. So this is a cute little hat that's sort of like a mitered square. And it's got little ties.
Yeah. Yeah, it's worked from one corner. You start with some I-cord, then you work from one corner all the way around to the other one and end with some I-cord. And it comes in adult sizes as well. So if you can make it for your adult babies if you want to.
Super soft in this alpaca.
Yes.
Very nice, very drapey.
It's got shaping so that there's sort of like a bottom. This goes around the back of your neck, and the wider end goes around your face, to frame your face. But I made one for Rachel, and she loves to wear it this way.
Oh,
So, you know, it's totally up to you. How you wear it.
neat.
Isn't that cute?
Kids, they have a mind of their own.
The alpaca is so soft.
It
Barb.
is, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
So we had some leftovers too, and we have a great little sock pattern here at River City Yarns. It's called Baby Socks, and it's got 3 versions. This one here in the alpaca is done with a rolled over top, and then we have a top that's got little cuffs. How cute is this? This is in the baby alpaca as well. And I thought there was a third.
You're
Rolled,
missing
ribbed.
Oh yeah.
I'm missing one. Oh well. And we're also missing the Dalton
there's
sweater.
just a short cuff, and then there's a fold-over cuff. So it's the same cuff, it's just longer.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you've got little
Little mittens.
mittens.
Yeah, and these are from Susan B. Anderson. Susan B. came up with these little fingerless mittens and thumbless, and they're to put the baby's little hands in.
So they don't scratch themselves. Yeah, and still keep warm
Yeah.
when you're, no matter where you are.
So little pair. Oh, isn't this cute? And Pat, look, put alternating colors on
That
them.
she did such a beautiful job with those. Those are adorable.
Aren't they sweet?
And again, you know, like what little puppy wouldn't like to have some mittens like this? I mean, really, really. Or
Yeah.
your cat. Oh, you know what?
When your cat goes out in the snow.
These would be great ear warmers for your cat. You know? Barb and I grew up on a farm, and all the cats on the farm have no ears because it's so cold in the wintertime. Their little ears get frozen and tattered. So, you know, when you send your cat outside,
Was that from the cold, or was that because they got chased by dogs?
well, probably a bit of both. Yeah. But look.
Isn't that cute?
Yeah.
You could wear those. That was like that emoji you had.
You want me to put on my Spock ears?
You could put two
Oh.
ears up top.
Last night during the makers meetup, I was playing around with video filters on Zoom, and so I had a little animal nose and little ears. You're right.
It was very cute.
There, it was really cute.
Yeah.
I thought so.
And Cynthia, our last garment is a little sweater.
Yes, I think you told me you were going to do this one. She doesn't always tell me, but she told me about this one.
I did. This one is from our friend Ann Budd. Remember we waxed on poetically about how brilliant Ann was? Well, Ann knit this for a little special baby in her family. This is called Dalton, and she recommended our hat trick yarn. And so this is it knit up in
Yeah, what colorway is that?
Saucer Pass. We have a bunch of crazy names for these yarns, all based on, hockey terms.
Yeah.
But this one is our hat trick semi-solid, and there's some great colors in this line. This one is sort of like a pretty teal. And it creates a little sweater with lots of interest and variation in it. And you can just see how springy this merino is.
It's a gorgeous sweater, too.
It's really cute. And it's pretty simple. It's like knit 3, purl 1, I think. And so this is kind of like, this we think completes the set. You can have a little sweater, a little baby yoga pants, a blanket.
Some socks, some thumbless mittens, yeah. I'm actually wearing an Ann Budd skirt as well.
Oh, yeah, stand up and show us.
Maybe after. But yeah.
How is that blanket for warmth on your lap?
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm wearing a wool sweater, a wool skirt, and now I have a wool blanket on my lap.
Yeah.
But that's the other beautiful thing about wool is that it sort of wicks moisture away from your body, so it's cozy. It's not, you're not like hot, you're just cozy. So that's what I'm saying, I'm sticking to it.
So
but
there
the
you
alpaca's
go.
gorgeous
Stay
too.
tuned for some new baby things to come your way if you're interested in baby things.
So
If
instead of boredom busting by making babies, you can make stuff for babies.
And then if you want to have some fun with blending yarns, you need to make one of these.
Oh, nice. So this is
This is one of the things that I worked on that I actually got finished.
good for you.
Yeah, this is my FO. And this is just based on a hat that I saw in my new favorite book called Making Marls by Cecilia Campachero. And she takes 2 colors or more. She actually has some things where she's done it with like 20 colors, but she's taking and combining different colors and different fibers together to create marls. And the whole book, it's just fascinating.
Nice.
It's a very expensive book because it's really heavy and
Hardcover.
but worth every penny. Oh my goodness, there's just some beautiful. If you've seen her sequence book, it's similar to that, only completely different because it's all about color and about marling and putting colors together.
Nice. Yeah. She sounds like a bit of a researcher.
I am
Like-
pretty sure. Yeah.
It's an in-depth topic on marls. Oh, good.
So with this hat, you start at the brim holding 2 strands, and I held our El Rio baby alpaca, double-stranded in, I think it was peacock or teal, and then changed colors and dropped one of the teal and picked up one of the cream for the middle section, and then the top is just a simple decrease. I've written a basic recipe for the hat, and we're going to feature it on our online store as a free pattern. So much fun.
Well, that's really nice. Yeah. Yeah, that would be super warm as well.
It would.
Yeah. Alpaca's a gorgeously warm fiber, so if you live in a cold place, that's a good thing to have.
Yeah.
Oh, so nice. So we're almost done with all the new stuff.
Almost.
There's one more thing, and that's a special treat from our friend Richard and his partner Robert.
Ooh.
Right?
Richard and Robert.
Richard DeVries is the dyer behind our upcoming flash mob. Are you going to give everybody like a sneak peek, Barb?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Our next flash mob is based on the book Frankenstein
By
So
Mary
this is-
Shelley.
And it couldn't be at a better time, you know,
No.
the week before Halloween. So get out all your ghoulish patterns. Go to Ravelry and search for, you know, Halloween ghouls, pumpkins, what have you, because we got a kit for you. So Richard has designed these colorways. This is what the kit looks like. And this is his fin base. So fin is 100% merino in a worsted weight, and he's created a skein of, I've got to get the name on this. It's got a really cool name.
Is it on the label?
Yeah, I think it's right here. Oh yeah, it's probably on the name. Black is black. So this is a full skein of fin. There is 175 yards or 160 meters and about 80 grams or 2.8 ounces. And then these come with it.
So these look like minis, Barb.
They look like minis, but Richard and Robert call them middies because a mini is like really tiny and this is a really big mini. So this is half a skein of fin. So you're getting all kinds here, and these are dyed in ghoulish colors. This one is to represent skin tones. It's called Faint Memories. This, if you've read Frankenstein, they talk about the blue in his eyes, and this is called Misty Eyes. This one's called Quite Contrary, and this is to be representative of bloodshot eyes, which is what I saw when I opened up the box from Richard DeVries.
See, you put a little surprise in there for you, hey? Some eyeballs.
It was scary. Hey everybody, Barb here. I just wanted to show you what came into our warehouse today. So Mario and I got this really big box, and we opened it up, and it's from Richard DeVries. And check this out. This is our new flash mob. This one's going to be called Frankenstein, and it's super ghoulish colors. And don't you just love the little eyeballs that came with it? So stay tuned. We're going to show you a picture of all of the, you know, Frankenstein-y colors that are coming out on this month's flash mob. And then this one, well, you just couldn't have Halloween without having a slimy green color. So you get 4 mini middies and 1 big skein in the kit.
So that's like the equivalent of 3 full skeins.
Yeah, like
But you get all this awesome color.
Are they great?
I love the black with it.
Yes.
That's just going to go so nicely.
So just imagine doing something fun striped with this.
Yeah.
Like like a hat or pair of mitts.
Yeah. Or a long scarf,
Or a
you
long
know, with rows of color in there. That would be really nice.
He sent me the coolest little picture too of a mini Frankenstein that was crocheted by the girl who does their reeling.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So they were obviously having fun with it.
We had a lot of fun with it. It was great. You know, and it's so nice to do something fun like this because you can laugh and, you know, and have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So join us for Frankenstein. This comes out October 20th at 6 p.m. We have a limited amount. You know, don't wait till the next day because I know there were a lot of people that didn't get one last month.
You know, it just gets shorter and shorter. So the last one didn't last 24 hours. It was all gone. So.
And we didn't have as much either. We bought all of the yarn that Carolyn had left. But
the other thing I love about this one, Barbara, is that it's a worsted weight. So whatever you make, it's not going to take forever to make it. So if you wanted to do something and wear it on the 31st, you have that possibility, I think.
Yeah.
But it would look, it'll look really nice no matter what time of year it is, because you know, we all have those black winter coats. And so that black is just going to make all these colors go with everything in your wardrobe.
And look at this one. Look at the speckles in there. I love you, Richard DeVries. And Robert. Big hugs to both you guys.
Virtual hugs. Yeah, that's really nice.
There we go.
Beautiful.
So get one of these.
Yeah.
And that's it, Cynthia. That's it. We're done. We've kind of talked everybody's ear off. Sorry about that, you guys.
We'll say, so this is going to come out right before Canadian Thanksgiving. So we want to say happy Thanksgiving to all of our fellow Canadians. For those of you in the US, we'll say happy Thanksgiving next month. And and to all of you elsewhere, you don't get to have Thanksgiving. We're really sorry for you because we're going to gorge ourselves on pumpkin pie and turkey and all that good stuff.
And cranberry sauce.
Yeah. I'm sure you have an equivalent thing to celebrate or to put food on the table for. So we wish you all a great month, and we're so happy to be filming back in the store.
Yes.
Even though we've got our plexiglass shield in between us, but it's just really nice to be able to connect with you from the same place at the same time. So have a great month, everybody.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye.